Robin.
D.L. Hugley.
What's that, man?
What's happening, man?
DL, who does smell good.
Looking sharp per usual.
Yes, what's that?
Per usual. Opie is out today.
Yeah.
He decided Tuesdays can go fuck themselves. That's what he says. Yeah. Well, Jimmy, you were accurate.
I said you always smell good.
Smells good.
You're a very good smelling man.
Damn.
I bought a couple of colognes on DL's recommendation.
Did you?
Absolutely.
Somehow it just doesn't have the same effect, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's nice knowing that it has potential.
Jimmy, it doesn't matter what you put on, you stink.
Yeah, I know.
Not at all.
They say it's chemistry.
Is it? Yeah. That's like you go to you watch some of the shows on Discovery Channel, or whatever, where they put together a fucking steel built the radial tires and stuff. I've watched those dumb shows, and you see like these fragrance places, and they literally it affects the body heat, the chemistry that comes off of you.
They did a survey thing where they made men. They played basketball, they ran, then they took a handkerchief and they wiped their underarms by their pubic hairs and put it in their pocket like a pocket square, and the women always like that more.
Holy shit.
So by that standard, women should dig taxi drivers.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't think Swamp Ass was on that. Maybe a few dabs of, the male musky shit, but
this smells like I'm running from a rebel tribe.
Yeah. Sometimes you get in a fucking cab, and it's just, and I know we've done this, people have done this 1,000 times, but it's distracting for the entire ride. Right. You can't do anything but concentrate on the stench that is in that friggin' vehicle.
Like, remember when we had the Arab Spring, a couple of years ago?
Yes.
Like, it ain't nothing like Irish Spring.
No. No, I don't think it's as fresh as an Irish spring.
There's certain colognes you want to smell good with. There's one I wear that I get a lot of compliments on every time I wear it. That's a mouthwash. And then there's other ones that I wanted, and they smell good. I like them, but nobody comments on them. But this one cologne, I just have as much.
And that's the only ones you wear. You wear when a woman says that. What is that?
Yeah.
Does it make you want to fuck me, or is that?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going for.
Now I'll just wear it all the time.
Yeah,
I should stop trying to fucking one up myself and just take the one.
I'm
going back and getting Obsession and fucking Drakkar Noir and Polo, trying to recapture my high school glory days.
Drakkar Noir. What are you, Persian?
Drakkar was big for a while.
It was huge.
That was a big one.
Lagerfeld.
Yes.
It was
CK1.
Drakkar was so good. It was in those little vending machines in the bathroom.
After a while,
you'd get that.
That's when you know. You're like, this is cool roast. This is going too far.
Fucking high karate.
Now it remind me of my father. This smells like I'm going to get my ass whipped when I get home.
There was always, I remember as a kid, you walk into the bathroom and your dad's shit is just fucking all over the sink. And just, Brute by Fabergé and the old razor and fucking the little cup with the thing to mix up the foam. What is this, 1850?
Right, what is this? Some sarsaparilla?
But it was always like a mysterious thing as a kid. You'd look at those adult friggin' bathroom things and be like, oh man,
I can't wait to get this done.
I gotta shave.
We had my mother would only wash, she only washed all our clothes together. And it was me, my brother, my father. And she washed everybody's underwear together.
Oh, but yeah.
So you had to rush to the basket. Sometimes he got ours, and sometimes we got
it. Shit.
Sometimes they were so big they were hanging out.
Giving no support.
Sometimes you just had to go. You had to rush to the basket because the good ones.
She wouldn't separate.
No,
fold.
None of that shit.
None of that shit. Right?
Go get you some
You're
drawers.
lucky I washed it, you motherfucker.
right. And then everybody had jackets. All of us had jackets. Like a big family. All of us walking around a little circle on the. Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
It was fucking on. And then they take the underwear and use them after they get so old nobody can use them. Then they use them for, dust cloths.
A dust cloth? Yeah. So you could pledge the fucking furniture.
Oh, shit. I'd never go back to that shit again.
I don't think, do people even do that anymore? I remember my mom would Saturday morning, she would freak out and be like, this place looks like a bomb hit it. And we'd run around looking over our shoulders like fucking urchins. Fucking Oliver Twist. And, dusting was a big part. You vacuum, you dust, you do the dishes. And, like, you'd sit there and just spray the fucking pledge. And does anyone do that anymore? Do kids have to do that? I think, like, furniture now is self-cleaning or some shit.
Pledge smells good. No matter what happened in your house, fucking Pledge smelled fucking... You get a body store in the corner. If you pledge the table, the fucking place is fantastic.
And Pine Sol. I think they always made fragrances that made it look like you cleaned some shit that you did.
Right. You can really
It smells
do
like it's clean.
a half-ass job, and at least it, like, wow, this place is clean.
What's the one for all wood? It's not Pledge. There's another one that's for...
Murphy's Oil Soap. Yeah,
but that never does it for me. I don't like that stuff.
No,
I like Pledge.
They don't have the. I can't remember last time I saw.
I don't remember what the Mexicans use at my house. They come through like a fucking brown tornado. Just clean all that shit up and it smells great.
Oh, like we had the same lady named Marlene for 20-some years, right? And she's from Guatemala. But my wife one day made this big Cinco de Mayo dinner.
Ooh.
And she's like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Oh,
like,
shit.
She's Guatemalan.
She assumed.
This is fucking horrible, huh?
I don't know. Anything south of Texas, probably all eat the same shit anyway. I don't know.
It was, man, I had the worst experience Friday, man. I'm at a gig, and you know how people come back after the gig and they're talking. And I was trying to be fucking charming. And so this girl's like, I'm talking to her. She's cute. And I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you slow? And she said, I had a stroke. And I said,
oh my God.
I said, she didn't have no goddamn stroke. Stop with the bullshit. And her friend said, she really did have a stroke. And I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's a bad move right there.
I said, can I buy you a drink? I'm so sorry. She said, no, it'll mess up my medication. I was like, oh, fuck this shit.
On medication too?
She was young though. She had to be 30.
That's a shame. Did she look good?
She did. She was cute. And then it gets worse. So then after it's over, we're waiting for her car to...
She forget a wooden leg?
Oh, my God. So I had to... She couldn't... They left her friends, like, leave her to go get the car, and she's standing up front. She's on... So I had to hold her up by her hand that had the...
shit. Oh. And just feeling like shit the whole time.
The whole time. I mean, she was so sweet.
That.
She was so sweet. And I was like, why didn't I see? Because I could only see from this side of her face.
Yeah. Well, you probably wouldn't assume at that age, you know.
Oh. Yeah.
Something. What made you say, are you slow? Just
because
the way she was talking?
Like, she left like...
But, like, why would you even say that? Because, like,
here's why. 999 times out of 1,000, it's just a girl with a goofy laugh, and her friends will go, oh, he picked the one stroke.
That weren't it. That time weren't it.
Right, that
Holy
wasn't
shit.
It. Oh.
I pulled a faux pas once. A guy I worked with, we left work to go for lunch, and I get in his car in the passenger seat, and I go to click the seatbelt, and the fucking thing is at the end of the fucking belt.
Right.
Like, you can't let out anymore.
Right.
And I was like, who's the fat piece of shit that was sitting here? And it was his mom. He goes, oh, my mother. Shit. And I'm like, oh, sorry, man. He's like, no, it's okay. You know, she's big. I'm like, oh, I called his mom a fat piece of shit.
You can have a fat ass mother. Like, if it was his girlfriend.
No one wants to hear that your mom's a fat ass. You could know it. You could accept it. You know that your friends know it.
Right.
But you don't want to hear them say, your mom's fat.
With a lot of venom in it.
I did too. I was like, who's the fat piece of shit? That's what I said, piece of shit.
Ooh.
That there, and then it's like, what makes you pop shit out like that? The common one is, you know, when's the baby due?
Right.
I guess Brian Regan does that bit. It's like you try to take it back as you're saying it. When's the baby due? Just flies out of your mouth. Yeah. Somebody said that in here. Oh, the taco lady. Remember, she had like a gut on her, and I wasn't sure if maybe she was, you know, getting high on her own supply. Or she was pregnant. I didn't say anything. And then I guess Opie just turned around, of course, Mr. Charm, said, when's the baby due?
Ooh.
And everyone just went like winced, and she said, you know, a few months or whatever, and we were like, oh, boy. Thank Christ. Yeah, she actually was
she's Latin, right?
Pregnant. Yeah.
Well,
so you assume
can say that anytime.
She's always pregnant.
Come on,
Baby already had its ears pierced.
What are you, a rabbit?
In utero. They're doing in utero ear piercings in the Latin community these days. and tattooing on eyebrows.
Look, I can tell it's a boy. How come? Because it's holding a little leaf blower. I get horrible when I come here.
I thought something terrible because, of course, again, Hispanic gentlemen do my yard work also.
No.
Yeah, go figure that one out, right?
We used to have Asian dudes.
Asian guys?
Yeah.
I hear they're pretty good.
Yeah, but they're very expensive.
They just nip every tree down to 3 feet tall.
Like, look at Mr. Miyagi. I don't want bonsai trees.
It's like I fucking had a big weeping willow here, and now it's a little fucking bonsai.
Just trim down the oleander. I don't need...
Bring you luck. Yeah, great. Yeah, and then he had one of those, the backpack on with the blower.
Yeah.
And he's going around, and I thought, it's like, I couldn't get out of my head to call him Buck Rodriguez. Yeah, looked like a little rocket pack. Come on, it's funny.
It's hilarious.
I still call him that.
That's
Tell all my friends.
Oh, when he leaves away. Oh, it's just...
I know.
It's certain shit you just have to do. I don't... Like, in California, they had the leaf blowers. They banned them because they were so loud.
Yeah, they're loud and they're all over,
right.
Like every yard. Yeah,
but they didn't realize that really cuts down the number of gardeners that you have around. So, like, if a leaf blower can take up the space of 3 people. So then they didn't have a leaf blower. So just the place was a lot of Latin.
Yeah. Now they got to pull the rakes out and do it old school.
You have to do it. Man.
I don't care what modern technology they bring back there. Gets them out of there faster. There you go.
They banned it legally?
Yeah.
California's weird, man.
It is.
They make up all these wacky laws.
Yeah, you can't have... Now, in Calabasas where I live, you can't have plastic.
What?
You have to bring your own paper bag. We have to bring your own bag when you go to the store.
Oh, right, to the store?
You can't smoke outside. Like, if you smoke in the common areas, you can get a $200 ticket.
So you're just supposed to smoke at home?
And now they're trying to ban where you can't even smoke at home.
Yeah, I think if you live in an apartment,
condos,
they're trying to stop condos.
There's no condos there.
No.
And like I live in the same neighborhood as Justin Bieber, so. Like,
okay.
And he's fucked up to the whole neighborhood because now police are in.
Right.
He made the neighborhood. He blew up the spot. Now it's all hot. I had a neighbor that got a DUI 1 house down from his house. Like one. I don't know why he didn't fucking just drive in his driveway and open the garage and close the garage and run in the house.
I've seen that in cops. Don't work.
No, but we're gonna follow me because
That's true. If you go, well, they probably would. You better hope that garage door comes down like one of those fucking Star Wars doors.
I just ran, and then he talked to his lawyer and he said, "Why didn't you just go in the house and then they couldn't find you till you came down?"
Yeah, come out fucking 8 hours later.
Right. I didn't know you were behind me, officer. I
drinking your coffee. How you doing, man?
Right.
What's up, sir?
If they're in speed, but then they would say they were in pursuit and you were evading a police officer.
But they weren't. They just. Yeah. Well, shit.
That is true. I've seen like where they've been pursuing people on cops, and the guy is near his house, and he pulls in the driveway, runs out, and runs in his house. Oh boy, they follow him right the fuck in there. Yeah. Not even a knock.
They're not gonna follow an old white man in his house.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Not in California. They would have.
Yeah, they probably leave him. Okay.
They would have done, but that motherfucker.
He looked okay. Let's go.
He was home already.
Let's go see what DL's up to down the road.
Right. What's the point of giving somebody a DUI when they're pulling in their fucking driveway?
That's true. He made it.
It's like Ali in for free.
Yeah. I made it home. I'm at base.
Right.
I'm at home base. So Unless you have a patent leather shoe in your grill, then perhaps further investigation is necessary.
Is that blood?
Jimmy is getting a picture and an autograph right now. He was very excited. Jimmy will leave the program for these things. He left, who did we have in here?
Tony Danza.
We had Tony Danza, the incredible Tony Danza was in here. And
from
Jimmy left.
And who was the boss?
Yeah.
Right.
And the amazing Tony Danza show, if you remember that talk show he had for a little while.
Is amazing the word?
Yeah, well, you don't remember it either.
He had bangs, right?
Yeah, he had sort of a...
kind of like Christy McNichol in 8 is Enough, right?
Christy McNichol bangs. Yeah, Tony Danza was rocking the bangs for quite
8 is Enough.
Quite a while. What happened there, Jim?
I just want to take a quick photo.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, was he cordial?
Skinny, man.
Thanks, Theo.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he was very friendly.
How did that? How much you lose?
It's funny. I went to my doctor yesterday, and I said, "What was the heaviest I was?" And she said, "Right now, I'm coming out with clothes on at 153."
Wow.
But she said I was in 2011. I was 176. And 173 last year. So, and there was one point I can remember being 180.
You lost 20 pounds in a year?
More than 20, probably almost, but between 24 and 27 pounds.
What'd you get?
Just going to the gym and eating better.
Go to the gym and eating better.
I just ate better, and I do a lot of. I have 4 sessions a week with trainers.
You ain't bullshit. You trying to live, huh?
Yeah, but you still can't get rid of this fucking this mush under the. Yeah. It's impossible.
That's all right. You'll be around longer.
Yeah.
You'll be fucking around longer.
That's the you got to probably lipo that out.
I don't know if I do or not because it doesn't feel like I know my eating is not perfect, and I know if I ate better, I should be swimming every day. If I swam every day for 3 months, I'll bet you that this would be a big thing.
You
go for a swim.
You weigh 153 and you're a grown man, and you're not from a third world country. You're doing it on purpose. So. Fuck it, just you don't want to be that.
No, I just want this gush gone. I don't care. Like when I still wear no shirt, I still look like Jim from a few years ago. But just it's like I didn't muscle up. I just shrunk. It was almost like somebody took a picture of me.
So now he wants a little vanity.
Yeah. Instead of looking better, I feel like somebody took a fat photo of me and then zoomed away from it.
Yeah, you look great, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you. It makes you look younger too when you lose weight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, my trainer noticed that I was doing some reps, and she goes, "Oh, your chest is coming in." I was like,
shit!
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Is she a nice-looking trainer?
Extraordinarily sexy.
You got girl trainers.
Extraordinarily. Ooh. I get zero vibes.
Nothing.
Zero.
It's like nothing.
Zero.
No, just give me the money and do your crunch.
Yeah.
You like the female trainer?
Oh yeah. I don't want male energy. No. I don't want a guy in between reps. So what do you? Shut up.
That's hard. You know what I'm doing? It's this place called SLT here, and it's one in Midtown and one. You would think Pilates was crazy, but it's the most intense. Like it's strength training, Pilates, and cardio all in one thing. So it's 15 minutes, but it's all these young, white, lean. Dancer type.
Oh shit!
And they're doing all this. I'm like, man, fuck this. I'll do 2 crunches and then that's it.
And I'm done.
But I'm telling you, it's the best thing I've ever. 15 minutes. I do it 4 times a week.
Damn, 15 minutes. That's it.
50.
50. Okay.
But you know how like you have to do weights and then you'll have to do cardio. This is all one thing.
Yeah. Wow.
They're like almost bondage machines. They're like
you seen them?
BDS. I've taken a little bit of Pilates. But I preferred the mixing up that a trainer gives me. But Pilates is really good.
But it's not. I'm telling you, it's not on that little machine. It's like called a Mega Reformer, and it's just. Why are we sitting? You can tell we're talking about fitness stuff.
I know, right?
It's taking a horrible turn here.
You can though. I saw a picture that Joe Rogan posted yesterday, and he's lifting a fucking kettlebell that was like a cannonball.
Yeah.
Fucking fucking getting into the, and he uses these fucking words that makes it sound like it's amazingly fun.
Yeah. Look how that
I just retweeted it and put pussy.
Right. Look how that worked out for Joe Piscopo.
Yeah.
I'm so in shape.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a sexy comedian.
No.
Nobody wants. Rogan pulls off being muscular and stuff because he's in the fight game.
Yeah.
And so it works.
Right. UFC thing.
Yes. Yep. But nobody wants a sexy. That to me is when comics are in trouble. When you start wearing leather shirts and wearing them open on stage, you're in deep trouble as a performer.
Oh, you don't think that works?
No.
You got to be.
It does for a while though.
Could be the outcast.
For a while, then everybody goes, "This guy's a dickhead."
Yeah, it's just,
it does for a while.
Yeah.
People are afraid to play the fool or to be the foil or whatever the term would be.
Right.
When they think they're sexy.
Yes, it's not. You can't be self-deprecating.
Right.
You can't.
I don't want a comic up there telling me like it is and oh shut up, you know.
You don't like that?
That's so fucking boring.
What?
So boring because there's enough good-looking guys in real life to do that. I don't need a comic who I know fucking hates his own guts as much as I do.
You want him to be a piece of shit up there?
Yes, be yourself. You're up there tap dancing and doing little jokes. You're the same fucking emotionally desperate idiot I am.
Black guys could get away with it more.
Well,
when you watch
I don't like people who like themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, if you like yourself a lot, I don't trust you.
The way fucking Eddie Murphy would come out, though, and Chris Rock and shit. I know, that's just it. You know, he could get away with shit like that. I think black comics, good-looking black comics can get away with it a lot more than white comics can.
It's at a certain point, it still becomes like, when you start digging yourself a lot on stage, you can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell when a cat digs himself.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't. It's not fun.
Kevin Hart right now, I know, blows a kiss at the mirror and winks before he walks on. But Kevin's act is that he makes fun of his family and himself, and he's a little short, grown man. He's at least self-deprecating in his act, so that's probably why it works. Murphy, as great as he was. I think the first special was better than the second one.
Right.
And the second one, when he had the open leather, he was already a movie star.
Right.
He didn't do another special after that.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
With gloves on.
With gloves, yeah.
Fucking gloves.
Yeah. But I think everybody else since that, every other black comic since that, saw that. And it does a derivative of it. With a leather shirt.
Yeah. And then at the end, you got to do the throw the mic on the fucking stage. And you're off. He was the coolest motherfucker on stage with those specials.
When I first saw him, when we didn't know who he was. Like, I grew up in L.A., so I didn't know who he was. But I remember, I want to see that funny nigga on Saturday Night Live. Who is that?
Never knew his name. Who is that?
and then one time, when Delirious came out, then that's the first time I ever put the name with it. He was so, like, last night I was out to dinner, right? And Jamie Foxx was there. And when we were working together at the Comedy Act Theater. And when I first saw him on stage, he could do impersonations, he could sing, and I remember turning to another comic, Joe Torre, and I said, how the fuck is one dude that talented? I hate that shit. And all I could do is tell jokes, and this motherfucker could do impressions and sing.
What happened to Joe Torre? He hosted Def Jam for a while after.
He still grinds.
Yeah, I never knew him.
Yeah, he still grinds out there, but it's just. When you grow up seeing these cats, and I think everybody, getting back to it, was influenced by Eddie.
Right.
Kind of wanted to look like him.
Yeah.
Except for picking up transvestites.
Because, everybody has
speak
their
for yourself.
labels.
I give them rides as well. You may be selfish with your car, but I'm not. Right. Young lady needs a lift and a few bucks. There you are, madam. God bless. Godspeed.
Is that a dick?
No, you don't even question it. That's rude. You know what I mean? If somebody fucking coughs and they have like a little spittle on their mouth, you don't question it. You just let it be there.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Embarrassing to mention it.
But Pryor never thought he was sexy. Like, Pryor dressed well and he dressed nicely. Right. And but it was never a sexy vibe from him.
And he always looked afraid. Like he always looked scared the whole time.
Wow, yeah.
Did you see the documentary where they showed the footage? And I had not seen that of him not doing well on the Sunset Strip special. Fuck, was that uncomfortable.
My daughter, my 26-year-old daughter called me. This happened because that was on about a year ago, right? Maybe
not even. I think that was more than 6 months.
She calls me and goes, crying. Oh. Now I understand you, and I know you did the best you could. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? I did the best I could. I didn't like snort cocaine off white women in front of you. What the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I'm not damaged.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a horrible thing. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's a great documentary. By the way, really gives you good insight on
what a horrible
Richard was about.
It has to be. You know how you ever been high and you're like, am I gonna be like this forever? Like you high, you go, I'm trapped. I've gone too far.
Oh shit.
It must have been like that for him all the time. Like not the high part, but just being trapped in your own head.
Yeah.
Doing whatever he wanted. He had much money to buy as much as he wanted. Like no one ever told him no.
No. That's a problem. When no one can tell you, no one tells you, no one's there to tell you no. Ugh, and you have unlimited resources.
And you kind of want people to. You kind of like want somebody to do something.
Yeah.
Like you want to, but you don't know how to ask for it.
How do you fucking get to the point where you want to burn yourself?
Did you see and I've talked about this on the show before, where like, I idolized Pryor and didn't know him. But the one video I've seen that was probably the true depiction of what he was like to be around was that interview he did on the set of Stir Crazy when they were done filming, and it was just with this guy who was a school teacher, and they had shot in the morning, and I think there was an audio problem, so they had to reshoot in the afternoon. So the guy came back and was re-interviewing Pryor on his lunch break, and you could tell it was outside by a trailer, and there's a little audience, you could just tell by the laughs and the way. But Pryor apparently had tipped a few back or was high. And you could see in that interview, he was a difficult fucking guy.
Yeah.
He was really a hard guy. But he was so smart and so... it was like rapid fire. And he was drunk and obnoxious, but funny and charming, and then not funny and charming.
Wow.
And the thing about cats like that is that they're so charming. This charming spike so high that when they are fucked up, you almost go, okay, he's built a bit of equity in this that he can spin a little.
Right? Yeah. Man. He could be a little bit of a fucking douche.
Man. But most comics, when you talk to them, are fucked up people.
Oh yeah. It's weird.
They make you feel good about I realize I'm fucked up, but I like to be around people that are more fucked up than me, so I can
feel good about yourself.
All right,
I'm not that fucked up.
Jesus.
I'm fucked up, but look at this motherfucker. He's fucked up.
Gene Wilder, I saw talk at the 92nd Street Y. Me and Sam went, and Pryor came up. And he said, I think he said, what did they say when you think of Pryor? What do you? And he said, wasted talent, or like waste. Like he loved him. He said when he was good, he was really good, and when he was bad, he was bad.
Damn, so he could have been better. That's even more fucked up. He could have been. Jesus.
On movie sets, he probably wasted a lot of time. You could tell Gene Wilder did not enjoy their time together because Pryor was a little bit difficult.
Yeah, but I bet. Well, Gene Wilder wouldn't be Gene Wilder without Richard Pryor.
Oh, without a doubt. But I mean, just as a guy, he doesn't look at Pryor the way we do.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at him like he's God. He's just like the asshole that was an hour late again.
Right.
Yeah. The guy who was, without a doubt he wouldn't, but,
Because he was his Dean Martin to Jerry Lewis. I mean, that was he was.
Well, Wilder probably knew that, so now he's like, I'm depending on this guy for my career.
Right. And now he can't defend himself.
Yeah.
Like literally now he can't.
Right. Yep.
What is he gonna say? I don't know. Whenever I saw Richard Pryor, whoever was with him, I never even paid attention to. Even when I was a kid, I never knew what it was about him, but I always knew that whatever he was doing was more important than
anyone else on the screen. Yeah.
Did you know him?
Oh yeah, I met him a bunch of times, but he was never. He was really always like. You could tell he loved. You ever see somebody love a thing so much that even the people who do it, they give a certain amount of. Even the young cats that do it, they give a certain amount of. All right, let's see what this cat is all about. He was like that. He was like deferential. Like,
wow.
So it was. Yeah. But seeing him, because the comedy scene here was much different than LA. All our shit was, you could either go to the comedy store, which they didn't let niggas go to, or you could go to the Comedy Act Theater. And that was and then everybody would finish going to the comedy store and they come down to the Comedy Act Theater, and that's how you saw everybody. I've never played the comedy store.
Oh, really?
Really? Never?
Huh. Never.
Whose choice is that?
Well, first they wouldn't let me play.
Right.
Like I remember the first time I ever got booked at a mainstream room was a Cleveland Improv, and they said it was right after Def Jam, because they had that thing where he's a Def Jam comic, right? So we were playing a gig. They booked me and they said, we won't give him any money, but we'll give him a door deal.
Jesus.
And so he can have 90% of the door. So
90%? Wow.
Yeah. And they let me, and they added like shows, and they charged black people high ticket prices even back then. They'll never pay to see this nigga. So,
oh, Jesus.
So I was in the ticket office counting the money going, this is a great deal, man. This is a great deal. And he was livid. So then they booked me. But after that, because they didn't think, I remember being in Charlotte, and the guy says, we were playing a gig in Charlotte. Charlie Goodnight years ago. And he goes, they only, when you're a black comic, during that time, you could work Tuesdays and Wednesdays because they would have the weekend for the other guys, or you could work a Sunday. So my week consisted of Tuesdays and Wednesdays or a Sunday, Monday somewhere. Like I was a fucking airport worker. But he came out and he said, well, you have to. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina. He said He said you have to sign this that you're not going to talk about any of the white people on this. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, you're kidding me?
What the fuck is that about?
I said, no, I'm not going to.
You're not. Why?
Yeah, I don't know
get
why.
Because it was something they had against Def Jam, and a lot of it was obviously, was kind of perception. But I said, I'm not signing. He said, well, you're not going on stage. I said, well, you tell these two shows they got to go home. And then he did it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're not going to make fun of the white people?
Yeah, you had to sign it.
Make sure you use the colored bathroom, too. You don't have to. Wow.
They didn't have that.
They didn't have that? They didn't go that far?
They didn't go that far.
What did he assume? Like it was going to be, you white people crazy.
Right, I guess he did.
Yeah,
I guess he did. I said, I'm not doing it. But it was something he made everybody sign. So,
where'd they shoot Def Jam?
Here.
It was, but where?
What was it? It's on the same street as the Paramount Hotel. It was 40-something, 40.
Oh, I don't know.
It's right across from the Paramount Hotel.
Was it a 500-seat or 1,000 seats?
It was. I might have been 1,000.
I was there once because I was there when Voss did it. And my greatest moment is when we interviewed Russell Simmons, and Voss was the first white guy that did Def Jam, and Russell Simmons had no idea who he was.
Oh, God,
I've never been happier to hear, and I not recognize.
After a while, Russell was just churning out talent. Just didn't never met you. He'd just stand up like the Pope.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. I don't know who that is.
Thank you for coming. God bless. Good night.
Right.
That was it. Yeah.
Right.
Like the same thing every night. Yeah, that.
And they would do all day. They would do shows all day. They would do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 all day.
Wow.
Different crowds.
Different crowd. Well, they do 2 shows with the same crowd, so it'd be, the crowd would have to be there 4 hours. But that was.
How many times you do it?
5.
Oh, okay.
5, but. I was from LA, so they flew me out to New York, and they gave you a hotel room, and they gave you. I said, I had a thing on my hotel bill that said per diem, and it said $150, and I went. I didn't order per diem. I actually went and said.
Oh no!
I did not.
I didn't order the per diem.
I don't order the.
I'm not paying for this shit.
And she said, "No, sir, that's a credit, and that's yours."
Oh.
And I went, oh, well, fucking.
In that case, give me another.
Yeah. I had no idea what that shit meant. I was like, you get it. What is that? What does it mean?
Per day.
Just per day is your
shit. What are you promoting, Mr. DL?
I'm doing, right, I forgot I am here. I'm doing
you're promoting
a game
something.
show on TBS that Mark Barnett did.
Right. I've seen many spots for that.
If you watch baseball, you saw me.
Promoting.
Or Tyler Perry show.
Or Seinfeld.
Or Seinfeld.
Reruns. True.
Oh, okay. Maybe you went another direction.
I went
wasn't
a totally another direction there. Yeah.
So me and Michael Ian Black are co-hosts on the show called Trust Me, I'm a Game Show Host. And it's like an edgy nighttime.
They got to figure out who's bullshitting, right?
Yeah.
Who's lying?
Who's lying? But Mark Burnett, who did Survivor, did The Voice. Well, the English didn't we beat them in the war?
I know, right?
It's not the Mexicans we got to worry about taking on the top. It's the English.
They are uber successful.
They're getting us back one reality show at a time,
right? Yeah, it's always like, oh, here's my new show.
Man, and this dude, when he walked in, he was tanned, and smart, and bright white teeth, and he throws his keys on his keys to his Bentley on the car, and he runs his head through his hair. I'm like, this motherfucker's rich.
That's just rich guy shit.
He's like, no, this is all wrong. It's all wrong. Like, he walked in, it got brighter when this motherfucker walked in. I was like, oh. And he had this idea for the show for 10 years. And it's basically, he tells Michael Ian Black will say a fact and I'll say a fact. And you pick the one who you believe. But it's some really obscure shit. It's not like, Jeopardy.
Like, you have an example that you can...
Like, he might say cold weather makes your fingernails grow. And I might say Oprah Winfrey and Elvis Presley are distant relatives. And you pick. So which one would you think it is?
Well, I would have to go with the fingernail one.
It's not.
It's Oprah and...
I would go with that, because if you trace them back far enough, as a species, we all connect somewhere.
Right.
That's probably closer than...
Or he probably, at some point, owned her family.
Maybe. Oh, God.
At some point.
Yeah, maybe the Colonel.
Somebody owns them.
Oh, you think maybe the Colonel stuck his dick in somewhere?
The Colonel had a little shit going on there.
It's called Trust Me, I'm a Game Show Host, and it's on tonight, actually, on TBS. Is it on right before Conan? Conan's on 11, I think.
Yeah, so it's got to be right
before.
So
it's 10:30. 9:30 Central. I don't know what time Conan's on Central Time, but if you're a Conan fan and you watch, just tune in a half hour early.
Yeah, he's really doing some funny shit these days, Conan.
Yeah.
We played something he did yesterday, which was the montage of these awful newscasters all saying the exact same thing about Mike Myers' baby.
Yeah.
What happened?
Mike Myers is having a kid, having another baby, and every newscaster started the story by saying, Mike Myers says, yeah, baby. And it had to be 30.
Yeah.
30 times.
It was terrible.
Different newscasters.
Fallon's doing some great shit, too.
Saying it. Yeah. There's definitely, it's like the golden age of late night talk right now,
Arsenio is the same show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, he appears to an older demo, I think, and Kimmel
They're
and
not
Fallon.
dead though. Like that. Like I swear, I'm not kidding. Lamar Odom was on crack, which a crack I haven't. Like, how do you even find crack? Like is it like an old copy of New Jack City?
I don't even think there's crack anymore, right?
So between crack and the Arsenio show, like when the fuck did we go back to the 80s? What happened? What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
I just, these cats are doing, I think, Fallon, Kimmel, Conan, they're doing shit that it's really like cutting edge shit.
Yeah.
And
it's very relevant. I mean, the way Kimmel uses the internet is amazing. Social media. Same thing with Fallon, with using Twitter and getting shit for his show through Twitter.
And the shit he gets people to do.
Yeah. Really clever. Good. It's not only about, having some celebrity come on because they're plugging something. I mean, that was pretty much what Carson was all about. I mean, it was great. Believe me, I love watching Johnny Carson.
But I think he was that for that generation, and like he was that
absolutely. But I think everything else seemed like it was kind of an aside to the interviews,
right?
Even though it was very funny.
I think it went, I guess Pryor, then Carson, but I think Letterman did some great.
Oh yeah. Letterman kind of opened that up,
right? And then then for a very long time nothing, and it took those cats a long time. Like Kimmel's been on a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
7-8 years now.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, it was longer than 10, probably 12. It's been a long time.
Been that long?
Long time. Because Fallon's been on like 8, 7, 6.
No way.
Fallon's been on 5, 6. 8.
Holy shit! Really?
He's been on a while.
Fuck.
Yeah, and remember how slow it started, but now it's just now I have to watch that shit.
Yeah.
I was watching an old Robert Klein special again because I own the HBO specials. There was this, and I was watching his second one, which I actually haven't seen. It was done in NYU in 1977, and it's fucking really good. It's
77?
1977 was his. He was the first HBO special.
Really?
And has done more than anybody else too.
I think Carlin has. I could be wrong about that, but
I think he did a special where he he's done the most.
But Klein was talking in '77 about guest hosting the Tonight Show again. He's like, I'm going to guest host, and Johnny had done this and that, and the whole culture, like you realize those were college age students, a lot of them, and Carson was their guy, and it was weird to hear Carson referred to. Klein was like in his 30s at then, but he was like the really hip, smart comic. All these college students loved him, and you forget that a lot of these older guys, they were fucking very hip dudes for a long time.
Back then, did cocaine in the break room.
Cocaine in the break room.
Like some of the stories. Like, a friend of mine did a documentary on Paul Williams, the little writer.
Oh, yeah. We've had Paul on a couple of times. It's great.
And, I was, he just always looked peculiar to me.
Right, of course, Little midgety guy.
I know you're rich, but you can't write shit at Six Flags. You can't. But anyway, he talked about how he would be hosting these shows and how fucked up everybody would be. Like, you could have a drink. They would have drinks and a little bump before it was.
Yeah, there's a famous clip of Carson where who's Dean Martin and fucking George Gobel is out there and shit, and they got drinks in their hands and cigarettes. They're just smoking and drinking on the show. You can't even fathom something like that. Even a fictional character can't do that on TV now. And back then they were just like, hey.
But even the shit they talked about wasn't this. Like, if you take, to me, the greatest sitcom ever was All in the Family.
Oh yeah.
And one of the 5 times I ever heard my father laugh. I've heard my father laugh 5 times. 4 of them were
All in the Family.
All in the Family. Yeah. Like, he never laughed. So when we heard him laugh, we would run in the house to see what the fuck he was laughing at.
Yeah,
it was always All in the Family. And it was always the most, like, I didn't understand, but always the most racist shit ever. Yeah. And it cracked him up.
It was the funniest fucking shit.
Ever.
Yeah.
And imagine if you just, imagine not even the fucking sitcom format aside. If you just read the dialogue. So if me and you got a script and just read some of the dialogue back and forth.
Right. It would be,
it would be a fucking controversial,
outrageous.
I'm talking about just not changing anything, just
read it verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was watching All in the Family the other day, and it was the one where he got the bootleg watch, the Omega instead of the Omega, and he's describing some of the features to Meathead and his daughter and Edith, and he's like, "Look at here, you could tell what time it is in China." He goes, "It's 7 o'clock in China." He goes, "You know what that means? 800 million chinks are waking up for breakfast." It's like, you can't say that.
Right.
But they didn't care.
Yeah. The Sandy episode I watched probably 2 days ago. I watched the whole thing.
It's brilliant.
And it's one, you know what made me laugh the hardest in that was when when Lionel is standing there with Mike and Gloria,
right.
and Archie goes, "This is my daughter Gloria, and this is her husband Mike," and he reaches out and he shakes hands with Lionel, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Mike," and the laugh from the audience, at him thinking that Archie's daughter had married a black guy. Like the laugh from them understanding that was immediate, and how I was like, God, what a great fucking show.
But it was. Imagine, you could never imagine a show where we all sat down and watched the same show, like blacks, white, young, old. No matter what experience we grew up with the exact same shows. And not necessarily because a lot of people say, well, they're the only shows on, but they still had to find a way to capture your attention.
Yeah. Then you just wouldn't watch that show if it wasn't universal. It had universal appeal. Now everything's so focused with a laser to a certain audience. Right. They know who they're gunning for, and that's it. But yeah, back then, and I think it was because it was so limited. The options were so limited. You kind of had to make it you don't think so?
I think that how the fuck you grew up where you grew up. I grew up in L.A. in the fucking 135th and Right. But we laughed at. I can remember. So that they might. True enough, there might not have been many options, but they couldn't force us to laugh at the same shit.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
They couldn't make us laugh at the same shit.
It had to be in the writing.
It had to be in the sweet spot.
And the
And now, nothing like we do a syndicated show now where we're talking about the preachers of L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and in the black community, the church is the biggest thing ever.
Right.
Like, but only like 3 people go to church. Is black women, the children that we may go with them, and the gay dudes who are in the choir. That's really it. And then, like, because men tend to just not to go, not because you're apathetic, but just because you're tired of a motherfucker hustling. Right? And so I'm watching this shit on, like, I have to watch the show because I want to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's just, now when God needs a reality show from these fucking worthless ass dudes who are just, it's just gone too fucking far. Like, Jesus, you don't need a reality. It was a preacher that got shot in fucking Baton Rouge because he was fucking another man's wife at a revival. Get that? Oof. He got killed in public. And every time you turn around, a preacher was giving HIV to kids.
I saw that one. Yeah.
And you motherfucker, you don't need a reality show. You need a reality check. Are you fucking crazy? It's just, and that's the thing people watch.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they'll put a bunch of those shows on. Like, I dig Tyler Perry. I think he's talented. Mm-hmm. But if you put Tyler Perry and Amos and Andy and you ran them together, you couldn't tell the difference. But one is vilified and one is glorified.
Right. Yes.
So it's perception. It's not.
Because it is, just the buffoonery.
It is. But one was, now one group, like Amos and Andy did it because that was all they were allowed to do at that that was the only way that society would accept them. So they said, we'll play along with it.
Just to get somewhere, yeah.
Just to get somewhere. And they were incredibly accomplished guys.
Right.
And then a group said, oh no, you're making us look bad. Mm-hmm. Don't do that anymore. Now, that same group says, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And here's this award.
Brilliant. Wow. Thank you. Yeah,
and it's really people's really dumbing down.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've dumbed down everything.
Everything.
And I think that does divide up the audience, that's for sure.
It is.
I don't think a lot of brothers are watching Big Bang Theory.
I've never watched one episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Seinfeld?
One.
Yeah.
One, and I never one.
Wow.
It's just not. Never one.
Sure. Yeah.
Not on purpose. Never said I'm going to deliberately ignore this.
Right. It just not.
It just never
happened. Is that a popular show in Compton?
You know what? On the show, Steve. What is what's my fucking? No, Steve, my fucking co-host.
Oh yeah.
Steve Wilson. He was talking about. He made a reference to Emo Phillips, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
God.
Oh.
I have no...
Right.
Like, I didn't even know... Like, I remember once we were doing Studio 60, and they were talking about Stairway to Heaven. I talk about it, and I'll say, oh, the OJ song. They're like, no, that's Led Zeppelin song.
Led Zeppelin song.
Yes.
You don't know I've never fucking... I mean, I knew who
He's the cool Bubba Ice of the white community.
Jesus.
He's the hamburger.
Yes.
I never got it, quite frankly.
But I never had heard Stairway to Heaven. Never.
Wow.
And I'm talking about 2006.
Everyone has heard Stairway by then.
Did you like it?
To that
I
point.
did.
Yeah.
I did like it. But I didn't, it was just...
That must be amazing to listen to Stairway, and it's not an old played song.
Right.
It's like, wow, this is some good new shit.
And I never... there are things, and I read a lot, I travel a lot. It's just, in 2006, I hadn't heard probably one of the greatest, most...
Right.
Albums of in history, and I didn't fucking hear it.
40 years later.
Right. This is great. Have you heard this new shit?
This is
by
great
this
stuff.
New group called Led Zeppelin.
Fuck, Led Zeppelin.
Right.
I hope they tour.
I got desperately.
Oh, you got to take a leak? All right, we'll take a little break. I know we have, DL's in studio right now.
Promoting. Let me get a proper plug for DL. It's a new show he's doing with Michael Ian Black, who's also very, very funny. It's called Trust Me, I'm a Game Show Host, and the premiere is tonight. It's October 22nd. It's 10:30. It's on TBS, so whatever your local... find TBS. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's right before Conan, so, that's a good time. DL's on Twitter. Real DL Hugley, one word, and it's HUGHLEY on Twitter, and you can get all the DL's dates and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Great. It's half of you now.
What?
It's only half of you here now.
Yeah. Well, thank God the good half stayed. That's my good nature.
Yuck.
That's the new good natured Jim. No, all the bad stuff, all the negativity.
The Jim low cholesterol.
Yeah.
Gluten free.
Yes. Jim's 45 and trying to get a TV deal, so it's about being fun and good for all now.
Isn't that the fucking truth? Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
I guess John Lithgow checked in downstairs, so John Lithgow's coming in next. Yeah, you want to hang out, fucking, slide over one seat like the old Carson show.
This is 40. He was fucking hysterical.
Yeah. He's apparently has a
children's
kids book. I don't know. Interesting. We'll talk to him about that.
How about this? Don't touch that dial.
It's a good one, Jim.
Robin,